Hello, everyone. On this episode of ESL Uncensored, discrimination in South Korea. Hi, everyone. Welcome to ESL Uncensored. I've watched a video by Red Dragon Diaries, and this is a video response to his video, Do Not Teach English in Korea if you are these types of people. First of all, I may not keep this video up forever. The user Red Dragon Diaries, also known as Tom, may ask me to remove it. So anyway, Tom, if you do watch this video and if you for any reason ask me to remove it, I will do so without question. All I ask is that you watch the entire video and pay attention to every word. That's all. Anyway, I feel the need to put in some extra input to everything that was said. Everything Tom says is true. I kind of feel like the focus during the first 3 minutes of the video is more on the symptom rather than the cause. Tom explains that if you are overly nationalistic for your country and if you harbor a superiority complex or ill feelings towards other countries, it's better if you stay home. And you know what? I actually agree with him. I don't know why some superior-minded people from the West would even go out to a country like that, but surprisingly, many of them do. I feel the need to point out that while overly nationalistic people should not go to Korea, anyone who is thinking about going to Korea for their first time should be mindful towards the fact that the vast majority of the Korean society themselves are overly nationalistic for their country, and if you are going to be staying in Korea long term, you are going to feel it on every level. I don't know about most people, but for me the single most important thing everybody should learn before going to any Asian country is the concept of racial discrimination. You should learn what social limitations there are and what compromises you will have living in an Asian society. Now, teaching abroad may or may not be for you, but regardless, until you understand the concept of discrimination you will face as a person of different color, as well as the social compromises you will have, you are not ready to come to Korea or any other Asian country. Tom also mentioned that Korean people love being Korean and everything about being Korean, and if you cannot understand that, you should stay home. To a certain degree, I agree with Tom on this one, but I also feel the need to point out that their pride comes with a racial superior mindset. Where we come from in the West, at least in Canada anyway, we see nationalist pride as something that has nothing to do with racial pride. In almost any Asian society, the two prides are never separated. And in reference to when Tom said that people with bitter ill feelings should stay home, well, the truth is many people going to Korea probably don't have those bitter feelings when they first arrive, and if they have bitter feelings after they arrive in Korea, it's likely because they experienced certain abuses. If you just Google Korea ESL horror stories, you will realize why many foreigners in Korea are bitter towards the country. I would simply explain it like this. Many school managers in Korea will physically abuse foreign teachers. They will neglect their salary and other abuses like that. So it shouldn't be surprising that Western immigrants feel bitter towards Korea once they realize, after they arrive, that many locals see their existence as an insult to their national pride and honor. And if they continue to teach in Korea, it's likely because they are hoping for things to get better for them in Korea once their current contract is over. The thing that's going to affect your personal life the most is the fact that you are a person of different color, and the social segregation and the discrimination will always be there. Living in almost any Asian society, you will never truly belong. Even if it's a Chinatown in your own country, people will not accept you. Sure, you will have some good times here and there, and it's all well and good, and I'm also very certain that you will make the odd good friend now and again. But because you are a foreigner, you will experience mostly social segregation. Also, many people who are friendly to you will still keep you at arm's length. Now please bear in mind, I'm only speaking from my 4 years of experience living in China. But from people that I've spoken to, they have told me of their personal experience Korea and almost everywhere in Asia is like that. So, let's sum it all up. Local people in almost any Asian country are mostly overly nationalistic, and their national pride is based on skin color. You will face discrimination. You will never truly belong. In the Korean education system in particular, they teach the concept of racial purity, and they believe that Korean DNA is pure and clean, whereas non-Korean DNA is dirty, contaminated, and genetically inferior. Once I read about a British guy who was getting married in Korea, and a child walked up to the bride and asked her, "Why do you want to make our blood dirty?" If you are the type of person who is sensitive to these facts and you cannot handle racial discrimination, you are in fact the type of person who should not come to Korea. I recommend that you watch this video here. The life story of this man will explain a lot and will give you a good idea on what it's like being a person of different color. Being a guest. I know that in Korea we are referred to as guest English teachers. Living in a society as a resident and settling down there, I would hardly consider myself a guest, but I would definitely say that behaving like a guest is advisable. Being a teacher, I agree with everything Tom said. You are only meant to make English fun and exciting. You aren't under the same scope as a local teacher and you don't have the same responsibilities as a teacher back home. Essentially, you are only a dancing clown, and it's almost this way anywhere in Asia that you teach. In some of my other videos, I talked about the very same thing. However, one thing Tom forgot to mention is that in Korea, you don't have any legal rights. Any school that you work at, you are completely disposable. As an example, your school or whoever you work for controls your visa. You do have a 1-year visa and it has to be renewed every year. For as long as you live in Korea, your visa will always be under the control of a Korean person. They can cancel it and they can send you home without trial or due processing. You will never have a long-term visa that is actually your own. So if you're thinking about a green card, forget it. Actually, having a green card or citizenship wouldn't benefit you anyway. Some Asian countries like Japan, Taiwan, and even Thailand, you can become a citizen, but doing so won't remove the social limitations and segregation that society puts on you. Even if you are a citizen, in the eyes of society, you will always be an outsider. Discrimination will always be there. I sound like a broken record, but I cannot stress this enough. I also agree with what Tom said, that you will be alone most of your time. You will have lots of free time and your friends won't always be there. Most of your friends will be other foreigners anyway. Otherwise, you'd better have a lot of solo hobbies. I know that the Statler brothers have many solo hobbies themselves. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with a deck of 51. I've also been smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. So don't tell me I got nothing to do. I won't say much in terms of dating because I'm sexy and I know it. Everything Tom said in his video is absolutely true. In fact, a lot of what he says is pretty much the case in every country, really. I'm certain there's someone out there for everyone, and it seems that way from my experience in China as well. But he forgot to mention that being a foreigner can work against you as well. Many times, local Koreans have harassed local females when they are seen with a foreigner. It's not that uncommon either that for many girls, all it takes is for a Korean person to give her the evil eye when she is with a foreigner, and therefore the disapproval of any average local can and often is enough to compel her to leave you. Anyway, Tom, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't mean to be a dick. I'm actually a nice guy. I'm not one to put words in your mouth. Everyone has their own way of describing things as well as their own ideas on what is most important that people should know before they come. Everything that I talked about is, in my opinion, what I feel is most important that every foreigner should know. So again, sorry for sounding like a broken record. I know I talk about this a lot in my videos, but anyway, I just kind of felt that your video, Do Not Teach in Korea If You Are These Types of People, kind of focused a little bit too much on the symptom. I only mean to address the cause, and anyway, I don't know what else to say. But anyway, just take this video and everything that I said for what it's worth. If you ask me to remove it, I will. And that's all I really have to say.